Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of NC-17. My name is Josh, and today we have a very well, he's an awesome actor. I've seen him in a couple things already. We got Joel Rosing. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Uh, so kind of before we get into the industry, the movies and stuff like that, kind of take us back a little bit. Was being in entertainment or just, something you wanted to do all your life, or was it just something that happened kind of accidentally?
A little bit of both, believe it or not. Since I was three, actually, my original career path was to be a police officer.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I went to school for that and whatnot, and college. Um, Later on, like a few years after, I also wanted to be an actor. I just didn't know it until several years later on. I tried to pursue a career in law enforcement, and because I thought that seems more a realistic goal, ironically, it was the other way around.
Yeah. So how far like into like wanting to be an officer did you go? Like, was it into your adulthood and then you became an actor, or was it kind of like short lived through high school and stuff like that?
Oh, since I was three, I wanted to be a police officer, all of it till I was like my mid to late 20s. When I was trying to pursue it, I was trying to go to school. I took the strength test to be a deputy merit sheriff. I went sick. I was so horribly sick, but I went anyway, and I was the first one to fail. They had the stretch test, and I missed the stretch test by 1 millimeter, and they said you're done. And I'm like, and I went home and I threw up.
Oh,
I was so sick.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, because of that, not going the way you kind of wanted it, now you're in acting. I mean, is it the better of the two evils, if you would say?
Well, I get to play a police officer if I can, and I know I have a movie that we've been put on hold for a little while called Seduction, where I do play the detective. So it's kind of like, all right, I guess the best of both worlds here.
Oh yeah. So kind of take us into your first time on set and what it was like, and just was you nervous, anxious, happy, or maybe a mixture of all?
The very first time I was ever on set doing something.
Yeah.
Uh, well, the first time I was on set ever was a little short film called Love Remembered, and what it was just a tribute to Bram Stoker's Dracula, the one with Gary Oldman, and it was a silent film as well, which I actually do like silent movies. I remember I used to watch the black and white silent version of the a fan of the opera, and even as a kid, like 6 and 7 years old, I used to love watching that all the time. And I wasn't nervous at all, surprisingly enough. I had a really great time doing it. And the second time I was on set was with Chivi's Films for a short film called Flesh Fire, which will be part of the Six Pack of Horror set. It's still some of the stuff's still being filmed, some of the short films on it. So when it's released, you know, and that was probably the first time I really had a lot of fun being on set. I've done some background here and there. I don't really do that anymore, but I really, really actually enjoyed that a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's fun, Flesh Fire.
Oh yeah. Uh, so the first thing I've seen you in was a little old movie called Attack of the Corn Zombies. You play Roger,
Yeah.
and you're kind of like the rebel of the town. Everyone's like greaser, or I call it the rebel of the town. So I mean I don't know what you would call it, but
Oh, thanks. I'll take it.
so being on that set, what was that like? Because albeit your character's not with the entire group, but your character is just as important because of what happens. I don't want to ruin it for nobody. So
Oh, I know. Uh, I remember, I think it was either Ann Murner or Steve Herman, SJ, who reached out and said about being hippies or greasers. And right away, I'm like, oh no, I want to be a greaser. I'll do that one right away. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, the fun time to play. And it was a really, really great fun day on set. And I think the extras, I think, had the biggest fun of them all. They were so into it. A lot of them came from different states away. One guy actually came from England, flew away from England, came out there and do that. Doug. Oh,
dang.
and I don't know if you're familiar with the other guy. Is a Reaper's Underground.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, he came all the way down there from where he was from, him and his wife, and they had a ball. That's how we first met as well.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. He actually was on a show a couple days ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he. I think I've gone through the entire cast of Attack of the Clones Zombies. Uh, so a little bit about like how you got into character for that because it was a period piece set against corn zombies. So what was some of your inspirations and was did you have full, like control of how you dress and stuff like that?
I did, and that's actually nice. And I always like to check in with the producer or director of whichever film I'm doing, because any writer or even a writer, because sometimes they have a vision of what they want, and I like to try and do what I can for their vision, and I try to bring what I can for it as well, a little bit of both. Because nothing like Stephen King, you know how many times he's written a book and he's kind of like how the director's done it their way, and he is. That's like not at all how I saw it. My inspiration for that character was William Ostrander. We goes by Bill, and he was from the movie Christine.
Hmm.
You know, he played that head of the gang members. You know, he's got that the muscles and everything like that. And I actually got to meet him one time, and I told him I didn't tell him that I used him as an inspiration for that character. Even the character was only there for a short time. I still go into it no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I remember I saw the movie Christine at 7 years old, and I thought that was John Travolta. I'm like, whoa, John, settle down. I think I hurt his feelings. I didn't mean to do that, but it was just.
Yeah.
But I felt really good to meet Bill, and because that was my inspiration. I tried to grow the sideburns, and I just couldn't do it so well like he could.
Oh yeah. I mean, you also in that in Attack of the Corn Zombies, you also get to kind of have a romantic love interest a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, kind of go into detail about that and yeah, just elaborate.
Well, that was with the actress Becca Jean, and we've actually been wanting to work together for quite some time, believe it or not. And this is perfect. And then I think Anne Myrna, one of the actresses who was supposed to play that role, different, they couldn't make it. I forget what the reason was. I won't say the person's name just because I don't
Yeah.
want to start anything. So I said, well, what about I know this one lady, she's been doing it for like 30 or 40 years. She's also does theater and she can sing pretty well, way better than what I can do. And so I think she said it was also her very first time doing a kissing scene, I think, at least on for film. So well, if I ever do a scene like that where I have to kiss somebody or be touchy-feely, I like to go over it with them first. Now, me and
Yeah.
her, we have already known each other for a while. She's done a lot of my photos. She's a photographer too, so we already kind of knew each other pretty well. But I said like, whatever you don't feel comfortable with is okay. Whatever you feel comfortable with is fine. And um and Roger, um, well, he's kind of like me. He prefers the company of women who are older than him. So it's really kind of, so it was pretty easy to do. So and we were probably like I said, we were pretty comfortable with each other already because we already know each other for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And in both of our scenes, it only took like a couple takes a piece, and that was that. Bam.
Oh yeah. Uh, so just a short-lived on-screen performance in that one because it's a zombie movie. So uh, I have to say that I'm going to give you mad props because you made me believe that the character you were playing was like 100% legit, and it was like that's ultimately what me as a fan I want. I want people to can make who make me know like, damn, this dude or this lady's doing real awesome, And for that, I give you props and credit because you did a phenomenal
Awesome.
job.
Oh, thank you.
All right. But you also did another movie where you play a character named Devin. That movie's called Desperate Souls. If you could give a little bit of a synopsis on that one and just kind of how your character plays into the movie.
Yeah, that one I think that was probably the one character I went the deepest on ever, and in the middle of filming, it actually got kind of it really was actually getting kind of dark. The movie itself is darker already, but when you get into that kind of type of character who, you know, doesn't really want to be alive anymore and is trying to kill himself unsuccessfully. And uh, it really was kind of like wow. And one time I woke up in the middle of the night. And I actually drove around for a while and came back. I wasn't trying to leave, but it was just to try and take a 10-minute break from being in this particular character because I prepared for that for at least 3 or 4 months for that. Because I
Uh,
didn't I all I ate was cans of soup out of the can because I'm lazy like that. And I'm sure he doesn't care either. And I was smoke free for 2.5 years. And I picked up smoking because, well, when I smoked, I felt like garbage. Devin feels like garbage, so I want to at least try and get in that mindset. I didn't wash my hair. I took showers, but I didn't wash my hair just to have that look. I didn't shave, and I didn't go to the gym. I didn't go outside in the sun. I didn't do anything that was fun, just so I can be just as miserable as that young man. And I think he's younger than me anyway.
uh, so going into character development that much, do you find that maybe sometimes it's kind of hard to come out of that, or is it like a switch you can turn it on and turn it off?
I would say it's kind of hard
Yeah.
because, yeah, like one character that I really kind of got into was on that short film I mentioned about Fire named Ryan. Ryan is like you want to look at the word, tool in a dictionary. He's a tool, and that's something I've never really been. And I thought like this is it was so seductive to play that because he's running around with all these different women at the same time. He's the kind of guy that would have sex with some strange woman in a men's bathroom. And I'm like, well, no, no, let's just find a nice couch. It's a joke, of course,
Yeah.
but it was kind of hard to turn that guy off because he's not me at all, and that was just so fun to play him. And Devin, it was much more of I have more had more of a deeper connection with Devin, and I won't say what it is, but I will say that he taught me something about myself that I didn't know until somewhere around the middle of it, and that's why I got so dark playing.
Yeah. You can cuss on here too, so you're good.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Uh, so you got a pretty extensive filmography. Is there one thing that you filmed out of everything you filmed so far that's like that just stands out to you outside of the character itself, just like the whole movie all as a whole?
I mean, the character I played that stands out. You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I really don't want to play favorites here on that one. Um, well, I will just say Devin only because that one really had a much more of a hold on me and a big connection. Like I said, I never had a character I played that taught me something about myself that I was completely unaware of. Again, I won't say what that is, more on a very personal level,
Yeah.
but it was, but I felt exactly how he felt through pretty much a whole damn thing.
Uh, you also have a short called Honeymoon in Red.
Yeah.
Uh, can you kind of go into a little bit about what that is, and because you play the groom, so I haven't seen it myself, so
Yeah, it's still it was supposed to be released already. I talked to the director and writer of that a little while ago. He said for some reason IMDb said it was released. He's still doing some more work on it. I haven't seen it yet either. I'm not in that a whole lot. I'll just be blunt about that one. And that one was fun to do too. I I got they bought a suit for me and it was all ripped up and they put paint all over me and stuff, makeup and on my way home I gave the suit back and on my way home, some lady in the passenger seat of a car, she looks over, she goes, "Oh my God." You can see her face and I'm because I look like I'm all beaten up and everything. We'll just say that. Well, I don't want to give anything away, but it's
yeah.
supposed to be kind of like a gothic type of movie.
Uh, uh, you were in 5 stages of Payback. You were in 3 episodes of that. You played Joe, a thug. Uh, what was that kind of like being on a TV show? And is it different than being on a film?
Uh, it's kind of somewhat the same thing. Thing with a film, you kind of just film consecutively until you're done. Usually, there was some exceptions. This one you kind of sometimes the writer has to go back and rewrite some of these the next episode, or sometimes it takes a while with that. Like the Red Hunter's the same thing. Keith, who was writing and directing, he's still writing the third and fourth episode, and he's filming at the same time as well, and some stuff how he does it. So you kind of go back and forth and go back and refilm stuff and or film new episodes. That one, I was just playing around with that one, and they gave me the script. And there was some new script changes I didn't receive, so I had just to play on the fly. Now I've worked with Jane, Johnny, and Jake before quite a few times. They're all fun, and we worked on Welcome to the Game, which is on YouTube, and we're going to have another one that's going to be released soon called Welcome to the Game Clint's Chapter. Kind of like it could be either viewed as either a sequel or a reboot of the original one. The first one was more of a concept, and this next one I think is going to be much more darker. And I'm going to say this, I was only there for one day in each of those days. But no matter who, everybody there, including me, we're all just a bunch of dorks, and that's probably the reason why we all got along pretty well. We're all cracking jokes, and it was
Uh,
really, really fun.
oh yeah. Uh, Speaking of other things you got coming up, you got something I'm actually interested in seeing a lot, and that's The Clown Dies at Midnight. I'm a big clown fan. Like I love Pennywise. I love you name it. If it's clown, I watch it. Like I've seen Clown Motel, I think 50 times.
Okay.
So can you kind of go into that a little bit? And you play Lucky Leo, so
Yeah. Uh, Clown Dies at Midnight, number two, Clown Harder. Think of Die Hard 2, Die Harder. Yeah, that's what it was. It's an action buddy comedy kind of movie.
oh
It's
yeah,
little more out there. It's a little more out there, but it's one of those movies where it'll be fun. It's one of
oh
those.
yeah,
Lucky Leo, I can say about him. Well, he's an unusual guy. We'll just say he's a no nonsense kind of fella.
all right. Uh, so out of this, all the stuff you got coming up, is there something particular that you are really anxious to see get put out there and kind of see like the fans' reaction?
Every single one,
That's a good
honestly.
answer.
Honestly, like I said, I don't really like playing favorites, and
Yeah.
I get like I went to go do a meet and greet with Blackie Lawless from Wasp. I went to go see him a second time because I'm that big of a fan, and I know he gets this question asked a lot, like which album is your favorite? And again, I get what he's saying after being doing this for 6 years now. They're like your children. You can't just pick. You can't have a favorite. You want them all to succeed. You want everybody to like them all. You might find a little here and there kind of thing, but you want them all to like it.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
know it's like a generic answer, but you just can't pick.
Oh yeah. No, it makes sense. I mean, like you said, it's like your kids. If your kids come up to you and say, "Hey, who's doing better?" Of course, you're not gonna say, "Well, you are," because then you're gonna. I get it, and I respect it. And at least you're honest about it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there that I mean, there's some people I've actually talked to in my personal life. They're like, "Yeah, we do this better than other people," and I'm like, "Okay, so I get it. That's mad respect for you, man. I trust me. I respect you for that." So,
Thanks, man.
uh, you do got Tears of the Damned. That seems like an interesting one. Can you kind of give us without spoiling anything, a synopsis on that?
Yeah, I can. I think that one's gonna be filmed in black and white. I know we did oh, excuse me. Just moving my leg here. I know we filmed some of that a while ago. We're still in the middle of filming it because sometimes things have changed. Like scheduling has been a big problem. I know John Joseph Dunn he did something before way back, but he wanted to redo it. Like years and years ago, before I was even starting doing this stuff or even thinking about it. And I play. I play a character I don't usually get to play a lot, which is not a bad guy. Like it's a normal, nice guy, which is okay. That's a treat. Which I think is actually a lot harder to play the good guy. I'm not saying that my character is the hero. I'm not saying he's the lead. I'm just saying, he's not the typical character I generally play. We'll just say that. And I really like how he did some of the filming for the concept trailer for it. That's why I can't wait to go back and do it.
Yeah.
And we had to film all night long one time. And I took 2 days off of work because when you're a kid and you're up all night in the daytime, it's really cool. It sucks when you're an adult because it ruins everything. You're off schedule, and if you got to go to work, that's too bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
imagine if you're a doctor doing an operation, you're falling asleep, slicing up. Well, there goes his eye. And
Well, I mean, you're telling the truth because trust me, I personally I suffer from insomnia. I have since I was 12, so I'll get 2 or 3 hours of sleep a day, and that's about it.
oh yeah,
So,
I didn't go to bed until 3 o'clock last night. I just couldn't sleep, and I had to get up right away at 6 o'clock.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I have plenty of those nights, my friend.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Uh, you also have another one coming out called The Blood Moon, and you play a character named Jeremy. Can you kind of go a little bit into that without spoiling anything?
Oh yeah. That one. We've been looking forward to that one. That one's been in the works for I don't know how many years. The writer's been writing now, and I think this is his first feature film. The Blood Moon is it's going to be quite a long indie film,
Hmm.
but I do believe it's going to be really good. I saw some of the clips of it, and I think people are going to like some of the special effects. If you like vampires, if you like heavy metal, and if you like blood and sexual stuff, sexual appeal, that's the movie for you.
All right. That
And I
definitely sounds like a
Jeremy,
movie.
yeah, Jeremy is part of a rock band,
Mhm.
and and that was actually the first time I ever played a six-string guitar.
Oh,
And of all the things to be left-handed, I'm left-handed, so I had to try and learn it right-handed, so it's been harder.
oh yeah. So when you get characters that you normally don't play, like you said for the comedy stuff, it was a treat. Are there characters that you absolutely would refuse to play, or are you just open to anything?
I don't know actually. I haven't really came to that bridge yet. Uh, I might say, do I have to do this or can I just not do that? Like, for example, like I'm not gay, but I don't mind playing a gay character. I mean, like, whatever. Of course, so, like there's some stuff like Robin Williams for Birdcage. I don't
Yeah,
mind playing that character. That's cool with me. It just that'd be kind of different.
yeah.
Yeah.
So being in the industry for for the time that you have, what advice would you give to anyone trying to get into the industry?
Uh, Grow some thick skin and and don't be afraid to stand up for yourself either. And whatever you do, don't give up. And if anybody tells you something differently, that's your life, your career, not theirs. It's up to you to decide if it's right for you or not. And if you decide it's not your thing, that's okay too, because at least you gave it a try. And I will say, I remember when I went to John Casablanca's, and there was a workshop there, and the one lady who was running the place, Erin, she said, if you fail an audition, or it's going to happen. I get no's even now. I get some yeses too, and I get some no's. But if you feel like giving up already after one no, then this is not the business for you because you're going to get rejection. You're going to get some frustration. You just got to do it again. It's normal, and you got to have patience. I mean, I get frustrated sometimes. I lose my patience sometimes. This is a normal thing in this business. Even big name Hollywood stars, they get rejected, but for things. I seen some. I saw few clips from other big name actors at the time who were auditioning for Marty McFly for Back to the Future, who did not get the part. I think Ben Stiller was one of them. He didn't get the part, and he auditioned for it. It's just how it is sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, with independent film, I mean, just as a fan, I hold independent film at a higher respect than I do Hollywood on the fact that Hollywood's like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're all guaranteed this, we're all guaranteed money, But with independent film, it's more like, hey, yeah, we want to get paid, but we want to do it more for the art and the fan. And to me, that's way more respectable. Yeah. And like movies such as Desperate Souls and Attack of the Corn Zombies and stuff like that. If you can play characters in these wide range of movies, at the end of the day, the world is your guys' oyster. Because I mean, if you can be funny one day and then straight horror and then straight drama, not a lot of people can do that. You know, and for that, again, respect for you guys because right now all the independent scene is killing it right now. So
Oh, well, that's appreciated, man. Thanks. And plus, with independent films, I think there's more heart to it.
yes,
And like you said, yeah, we do want to make money, but we're putting everything we can do into it physically, mentally, what little bit of a budget that we have. Hollywood, yeah, okay. I mean, we were a few. It's going to be released hopefully some in a couple months. We were doing a short film, fan film called Fallout Highwayman, and and unfortunately Hollywood beat us to it because I don't want people to think that we were copying them. No, we're copying the game. And that was actually the very first time I ever played a good guy.
uh,
And yeah, and so he, the director, he's been writing it, drew. He's like a one man army. He's because it's his baby. He wants to make sure it's perfect, and who can blame him for that? And it'd be a short film, and hopefully having some festivals. So, and I have the actual Volt suit on, and the problem is I can't bend over because the thing's gonna rip, and it's already ripped a few times. So if something falls on the floor, I gotta get somebody to pick it up for me.
oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah, and that was we had a lot of help from people too for that as well, because we tried to make it as authentic as we possibly could.
all right.
Oh yeah.
Uh, so being in the independent world, you guys kind of thrive on the convention scenes and stuff like that. Do you attend any of these conventions as a vendor or anything like that?
Oh, sorry, just my
Oh,
leg.
you're good.
I've been to some conventions a few times. I just don't really go to them a whole lot because I can't always afford it. I never had a booth or a vendor either like that because again, that's money out of my pocket I can't afford. I would love to have one, have people come by and meet me and do things like and sign things. I'm cool with stuff like that. I just can't afford it right now, and I don't think a lot of people know me that well either. Because I've been to some conventions where people like cult classic movies, like The Warriors. I was there, and there were some actors who like Ajax, they're playing, like some of the other characters, and they're just sitting. Nobody's coming over to see them at all. And I always felt kind of bad about, if I had the money, like insufficient fund, not insufficient funds. That's a bad, yeah. It's well, you're gonna have insufficient funds after you leave that place, that's for sure. But I mean, you know, infinite amount of money. I mean, I would meet them all, everybody that was there, and get their autographs and meet them and whatnot.
All right.
But yeah, but it's also a great place to network too. You never know.
Yeah. Uh, so I've heard a lot that in the independent scene, it's like you guys kind of sometimes get to choose and pick what you want to really do. Is that the case for you, or is it like people send you a script and say, "Hey, we think you'd be perfect for this"?
A little bit of both sometimes. Uh, Sometimes they have the casting calls, and I try and pick a character that I want. Sometimes it doesn't. You don't get the character you want, or sometimes you get a different character. Like for the Blood Moon, I auditioned for the lead role and auditioned for a supporting role. I didn't get the lead role, but I got the supporting role that I wanted. And the way I see it is simply this: would you rather have that or not get in at all? And
Exactly.
sometimes supporting roles are just as fun, or sometimes even supporting actors are the better ones. I'm not saying I'm better or anything like that, but sometimes it works. And sometimes too with scheduling. Like the Blood Moon's been, well, I think it's been like a year or two it took to film that thing. And but it was great each time I went over there. Everybody was so sweet, especially Connor, who was a director. It was nothing but it showed me nothing but kindness. Like another one I did for Acrostar, one of the the love the things. It was called Inner Beauty. I auditioned for the lead, but I didn't get cast for. I got it's for supporting character. I figured, okay, that's fine. I'll take that too. About a month ago, I got 8 auditions done in 1 week,
Dang.
and none of them were,
Hmm.
none of them got booked. Then a guy, Scott Keen, he reached out to me for Dream Slasher, which we're trying to still raise funds for that, and I'm actually really excited about it. He said, "I saw your movie Desperate Souls, and I think you'd be perfect for this character." And I said, "I'll tell you what, send me the script and I'll let you know." It's about 90 pages ish. I got to page 23, and I said, "I'll do it." I said, "I like it already. I'll do it. This is something different."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Uh, do you find more excitement in getting characters to where you can't finish the script because you're so excited before you get to halfway? Do you find that more exciting than when you read a whole script and you're like,
I don't know actually. I never really gave thought about that, but sometimes I do like the script. Sometimes I like to read the character itself that I'm playing, and I like to have the rest of it be a surprise sometimes.
oh
Like
yeah,
I think I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, that Harrison Ford didn't finish reading the script Empire Strikes Back. He only read up to his lines, and that was it. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know that was going to be how Darth Vader is his dad or whatever." Like sometimes it's fun just to have your own surprise.
oh yeah. Actually, that is a fact.
It is a fact. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's refreshing too, because to know that there's actors out there such as yourself and just other people out there who are like, you know what, I'm happy to be part of the show. I'm going to read what I need to do. Then I want to be surprised. It's refreshing to know that you guys are, just as humble in that aspect. Also, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Uh, there's, let's see, there was one other one I wanted to know about. Oh yeah, right there. Jay Darvis presents Creative Hustle. You play Ron Hammer, and
Oh
that's a TV show.
yeah. Interesting you brought that up because I was just trying to find that on YouTube somewhere. I had not seen it. I actually believe I don't really watch a lot of my own films because it just like a lot of even big name actors, they have a hard time watching this. If I didn't want to do a project, I wouldn't agree to do it or audition for it. Either I want to or I don't, or I'm not able to. But it's just so strange to watch yourself. It's like watching yourself have sex. I know it's a weird analogy, but it's just you're like, oh, what are you watching? Oh, nothing, nothing. Let me change the channel, nothing. You know.
Yeah.
Uh, Again, I'm not the best analogy guy here.
Hey,
Uh,
it's all good.
yeah, but and I forget what I was talking about here.
Jay
Well,
Davis presents Creative
oh
Hustle.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Well, the character I play is Ron Hammer, and I don't have any lines in this, which is like okay, that's a first. And I play a porn star. We're like, oh, okay, and it's an interesting concept. I never. It's one of those things where like, oh, I never thought about that. It's supposed to be about the story about the guy who cleans up after the porno is over. Like he's there with his mop and his bucket and his little gloves, trying to like, okay, I don't know what that's from, but I don't want to touch that. So that's what the whole short film is about that. And we're snorting stuff on the table, which is just sugar and flour and things like that. And I'm not going to give anything else away. Just if you guys see it, be surprised. Apparently, it was in one of the theaters. I didn't know about it. And yeah, so and, which I think is really, really funny that I played that character. Um, because I remember, and I got a story too to tell you. When I was 24, I remember I had just gotten divorced, and I remember my ex-wife told me I should try out for modeling. Now this is way long ago. I looked much different. My hair was shorter, whatever. I was a little more shape, and I found this agency out in LA. And I don't remember the name of the agency. I don't remember the name of the agent. Who cares? It's been 11 years ago. And on their site, they said like, so for the submit, you got to fill out the whole thing, and they wanted pictures of you from top to bottom, front and back, but shot from you from the waist up with and without a shirt on, and one of just your head, your face. And a couple days later, I get an email saying that the agent wants to talk to me. I'm going, that's great. That sounds like some good news, eh? So he's on the phone with me, and we're talking. He says, you have the all American boy look, you like your face and everything like that. He says a few other things. He says, you need to lean in a bit more. I'm going, like, what does that mean? Lean into the camera, I said. He goes, no, lean in a little bit more down here, but we can still work with it. Just try and work out a bit more. And I said, okay. And then he says, and I'm sure he did that to me on the phone. I'm sure he did that. I think you'd be great for gay porn. I said, that's okay, buddy. Thanks a lot, though. So,
That,
so yeah, that was the first thing I ever got offered trying to get in this business was to do. And every now and then I still get offers every now and then, believe it or not.
that
Yeah, I'm like I don't care what people do for money. Like this legal, whatever. It's just like that's okay.
that's a crazy story.
Yeah, I know. So I did.
Hey,
So I decided like maybe I shouldn't. This isn't them. It might not for me to do this business. But then we fast forward, and then here I am doing this now.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is whatever avenue that got you here is an avenue that you chose. So you didn't bend to any, like morals or breaking of morals that you didn't want to, which is awesome. So, I mean,
Yeah,
again,
I mean,
respect to
I
you.
know I know there's a lot of straight people that do it. Like like I said, I don't have anything against people who do adult films. I don't. Yeah, I'm not interested in sleeping with a guy or kind of thing. I'm sorry. That's about it. I'm not homophobic. It's just not my forte. I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, how many Klondike bars are we talking here? Yeah, but again, it's a joke. It's just,
Yeah.
and here's the thing too, I will say about being in this business, and this goes for anybody. If somebody out there is homophobic or racist or anti-Semitic or whatever have you, and you want to be in this business, you either need to get over that crap right now or you don't belong here. Because this business is filled with everybody from different walks of life. And
Oh
we're all
yeah.
gonna and basically we all bleed red blood, and we're all gonna die one day. So let's try and get along.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the guy's honest truth. Because not I don't want to. I'm not a political person, and I'm not gonna, let the show become political. But I agree with what you said. So,
Yeah, I agree exactly. I don't care who voted for who either. It's just whatever. I mean, I hear people talking about on either side. I just stay out of it. They asked me what I say. I said, yeah, I don't speak English, is what I say. My answer is, or I said, well, I don't know, or maybe, whatever. I don't. Here's an example. It's not worth a fight. Now, let's say you have a dog. Do you have a dog?
yep.
Okay. Let's say you take your dog on my lawn, and your dog goes on my lawn, and you don't pick it up. That's worth a fight to me, because there's no
Yes.
gray area. But now you might be saying, well, hold on there, Mr. Rosing. That's not my dog's crap. My dog ate the crap of another dog and then in turn recrafted out. Basically, it's recycled shit. So go yell. And this is the stuff that I do think about. This non consequential BS that I come up with to amuse myself at night.
All right.
Yeah,
No, I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. And if you can't stand by your truths, then no one can really get to know you. That's a fact. So,
that's right. And just some stuff is just to let who cares? Like people fighting online about what movie or what band, like and unfriending people and blocking people, getting arguments. Okay, now everybody's gonna like the same thing. No big deal. Some
oh
people
yeah,
like good. Some people prefer Goodfellas. Some people prefer Godfather. I like them both, but if I gotta pick one, it's Goodfellas.
I actually agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny that you use those two because literally, quite literally, at work today, someone came up to me and was like, "Godfather One is the best movie ever made." I was like, "I don't know about that. Part two was better than part one." So,
Yeah.
then they were like, "Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry."
No. Yeah. I was just agreeing with like, yeah.
Oh yeah, and then they were like, "Yeah, well, Ray Liotta's best movie was this." latest one he brought out, not Cocaine Bear, but the 1992, and I'm like, huh, the hell are you smoking? I was like, no, his best movie was Goodfellas. I mean, not to knock 1992, it was a good movie,
Yeah,
but I think really, I'm thinking Joe Pesci, De Niro. I'm thinking Goodfellas. So
yeah.
I'm right there with you.
I was at a concert about almost a year ago. I went to go see Doro from Warlock and Overkill at the rave and over in Wisconsin and Milwaukee. I only went for the one day. I was talking to a couple of guys, and we were talking about he doesn't like Motley Crue at all. He's not into it at all. I like Motley Crue, and I said, "Well, that's cool, no big deal." And he's like, "That's fine, you don't like Motley Crue, no big deal." There's some bands that people just go bananas for that I just like don't get into. So everybody's got a different like and different taste. I don't like ketchup. I hate ketchup. You can have all the ketchup you want. I'm a mustard man.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, me per. I don't know how we got here, but me personally, I don't like any condiments on my burgers or my fries or my hot dogs.
That's cool, man. No big deal.
Yeah, and yeah, but this is awesome because
Yeah, see,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What would you like to talk about? We got a couple minutes left. What would you like to talk about?
I know. Oh God, there's so much still. I'm trying to plug here, eh? Well, right now we have a campaign going for Dream Slasher, and we're going to be filming that over in North Carolina right now. And that's going to be like around in June or July. We'll be filming that, and we also have a campaign for Clown Dies at Midnight #2. We would like to try and get people to try because we have some perks, merchandise going, executive producer, things like that, other cool stuff. I've worked with Chivi's from Derek Brash, great guy. I consider him as a friend of mine. He's always him and his wife Nina have always treated me so kindly, and I have not met any of the people from Scott Keen or any of the actors over there either. But I am really am looking forward to that one a lot, big time too. And I don't have the links to give right now, but if you guys go to my page, you can definitely scroll down and find those as well. If you guys even $1, that still does help.
Oh yeah.
I'd appreciate it a lot, or even at least sharing it.
Uh, uh so as we near the end of the show, I finally got it right. I'm normally saying ending the near of the show, and I'm like, huh, what? That don't make sense.
I know what you mean.
But as we near the end of the show, is there any advice that you would give 10-year-old you back then, something that you know now that you didn't know then?
Uh, 10-year-old Joe. Geez, I don't know what I would say to him. He might not listen. He might have, not been ready. He might most likely be scared. Most likely. And when you get older, the thing I have noticed is the things that I used to be worried about, I'm not so worried about anymore. When you have enough crap happen to you, some stuff is kind of like small potatoes now. I don't care anymore. Um, but I would say it's easier said than done when talking to me because I didn't have much confidence, and that's one thing you definitely will probably need in this business is confidence. I know I was told to do it when I was in my mid-teens. I regret not doing it earlier on, but I know I was not ready.
I mean, that's the truth. That's a fact. I mean, that is probably the best way you can sum up a way to tell yourself something is you're going to be scared, but when you get older, you won't be, you know, and it's a fact because I've done that myself. Like, I look back on my life and I'm like, if I'd have done this differently, maybe this part of my life now would be different, so, but no.
I I got offered. I was still working at the Jewel as a florist, and I was working out twice a night, every single night. And I actually got offered to be a stripper, believe it or not, when I was 27, 28. And I regret not doing it because I didn't have the confidence to do so. I also couldn't dance. A guy with no legs would dance better than me. I, and then, guys, it's a joke. Everybody out there who's upset by that, it's a joke. Calm down. Jesus. This is 2025. Let's just take it easy here, eh? But I still wonder what might have been this if I had done it. And I was really in good shape then. I mean, that's what a lot of people who couldn't see said. Um, but no, I really regret not taking that offer.
All right, we're gonna be ending here in a minute. I want to thank you, Joe, for coming on. You've been an awesome guest,
All
and
right.
I actually almost like lost train of thought about it being kind of an interview. Just felt like I was talking to one of my buddies, so that's a good
Oh, that's
thing.
cool. That means makes it more natural, and I appreciate you having me on here. It was really nice. This is fun.
Oh yeah. Uh, anytime uh, someone's on the show, I always tell them you're more than welcome back on NC-17. If it's to plug a movie, to talk about movies, or just hey, you need to say, Josh, get that booger out your nose. You're more than welcome. Yeah. But you've been an awesome guest, and I appreciate you, and thank you for coming on.
Oh, I appreciate you having me on, man. It was actually really, really fun. It was a nice treat, honestly, compared to doing how a couple of weeks have been going on lately.
All right. Well, I'm glad I was able to kind of take you away from all that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right, everybody. Until next time, stay in C17.